First tonight, police are connecting the dots on a multi-scene shooting incident that led to 2 men being hospitalized. Officers are appealing to anyone with any information. Plus, is a 50-50 labor ratio the right deal for Bahamians? The East Grand Bahama parliamentarian is raising questions surrounding government's newest hospital agreement. And later, our Danielle Miller continues her adventures with the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board. Find out which beautiful, protected natural attraction she's exploring next. We have got the details for these stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Police are investigating a multi-scene shooting incident that occurred on Saturday shortly after 6 p.m. Police tell us that shot spotter technology detected gunfire on Bow Avenue in Montel Heights. Responding officers located and injured a 46-year-old man on Lincoln Boulevard. Reports indicate that he had been to a residence on Bow Avenue in Montel Heights when he was allegedly confronted by a man who fired several gunshots in his direction. While leaving for his safety, he injured his leg and was taken to the hospital by ambulance. He is listed in stable condition and is expected to undergo surgery for his injury. Now, in a separate but possibly related incident, a 39-year-old man suffering from gunshot wounds arrived at the hospital via private vehicle. Initial reports to police say he was seen in a dispute on Bow Avenue when a male allegedly began discharging shots. The victim fled the scene in a vehicle along with another male traveling on Lincoln Boulevard. They were pursued by the gunman on a motorcycle who discharged several shots at the vehicle. They were able to successfully escape. The victim is reported to have sustained gunshot injuries to his upper back area, was listed in critical condition, and at last report suggests he is scheduled for surgery. The additional male left in the vehicle. And later, around 6:30 p.m., officers responded to a traffic collision on the Eastern Road. There, they found a vehicle fitting the description of the one involved in the earlier incident had crashed into a utility pole. There was no driver at the scene. Police are working to determine whether the incidents are connected and to bring more clarity to the situation. Well, meantime, a new opportunity is on the table for Bohemian investors. This as CFILE has launched a private equity offering for EA Energy and Island Power producers, 2 companies at the forefront of energy development in the country. EA Energy is behind microgrid projects in Eleuthera and Abaco, while Island Power Producers is developing shore power technology for the Nassau Cruise Port. The offer runs from July 21st through the 29th and features 2 classes of shares with a minimum investment of $1,000. Applications can be completed online via CFILE's website. Now, during our monthly sit-down interview with RF Bank and Trust Vice President and Group Head of Investment, David Slatter, he says it's a timely opportunity for Bahamians.
That's not being brought to market by RF, but by one of our competitors. But, I always tell people, when you have a chance to get an equity stake in a decent, company or an industry that's vital, like electricity production, I'd recommend you take part in it, right? So that's my view, is if you have an opportunity to become an equity, not direct equity stakeholder, but effectively through a fund, and that entity has ownership of the electricity production in Abaco and Eleuthera, and Island Power, which is based on Arawak Key, which is going to be powering the cruise industry, I would say, if you have a few dollars on the side, go for it.
As the government moves forward with a loan for the construction of a new hospital for New Providence, East Grand Bahama Member of Parliament Kwesi Thompson is asking what strings are attached to the loan. Government signed a framework agreement for the construction of the new facility a few weeks back with officials from the Chinese embassy here in the Bahamas. The move became the center of controversy after it was revealed that an offer from the United Kingdom was made to the government. However, Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville quickly shut that down. As he addressed Parliament this week, Thompson also touched on the Bahamian foreign labor ratio.
If we borrow this money is it now mandatory that we must use 50% Chinese labor when it comes to constructing the hospital? And Madam Speaker, the challenge is, if that is so, that is completely contrary to the government's policy, where it is 80% Bahamian and 20% non-Bahamian.
At the time of the signing, Dr. Darville said the Bahamian to foreign labor ratio stands at 50-50. But he said the government is looking to work out a better agreement. Should the labor ratio remain, Thompson says the government should rethink moving forward with this agreement.
We need to understand why it is that we should proceed with this loan if there is a 50% mandatory Chinese labor component that comes with it, contrary to the government's, and this, when I speak about the government, I mean both governments, have abided by the 80-20% ratio.
Well, 78 students graduating from the National Training Agency's Cohort 25. They're now one step closer to joining the nation's workforce. They proudly crossed the stage, receiving certifications in a range of disciplines, including allied health, auto body service, culinary arts, food and beverage services, housekeeping, teacher's aid, and business applications and technology. Among them was Valentino Baker Jr. and Paige Colley. Both expressed their excitement for achieving this major accomplishment.
I got here by chance, to be honest, but my experience here, I learned so much things that you see the smile on my face right now, I can't control it. This is the happiest day, like we're all leaving. We all grow here. This was the place this is home.
It's very challenging to represent every female in the field because it's very a heavy male dominant field. And that presence is there. The minute you walk in the yard, it's surrounded by males. That presence is heavily there. So it's a challenge to fight for yourself, fight for their independence, to actually show them that even though I'm a girl, I can still do the same thing that you're doing, and even sometimes better.
NTA Executive Director Bridget Ferguson says the milestone highlights the NTA's continued push to equip Bahamians with the skills needed to succeed in today's evolving job market, further cementing its role in advancing workforce readiness across multiple sectors.
We transform lives. We bring in young persons between the ages of 16 and 26 and give them life skills, employability skills, skills that really transform their lives and their families as well. So over the years, we have seen folks come through these doors who can barely open their mouths and speak coherently because of fear, uncertainty, and lack of confidence. And then when they exiting with employment or interviews for employment. So that has been our daily motivation.
When our news weekend comes back from the break,
find out how Cable Bahamas Group of Companies honor its top performers.
Plus, the SBDC making a sizable donation toward inclusive entrepreneurship in the Bahamas, from $100,000 in grant funding to mentorship opportunities. We've got the details when our news weekend returns.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Setamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement, with that arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
I have a vision for Grand Bahama, and my vision is actually bigger than my grandfather's ever was.
Watch City in Focus, the story of Freeport with Italia Hall, starting August 7th only on RTV.
They're blue for me and you, and I say to myself, what a wonderful world.
Celebration was in the air as Cable Bahamas honored the heartbeat of its organization, its employees, during the annual Epic Awards. The initiative recognizes those who go above and beyond across the company. Our Delvardo Emmanuel was there for the exciting evening.
An evening of recognition and celebration here at Sapodilla as Cable Bahamas Group of Companies hosts annual Epic Awards, a signature event where they recognize and honor the outstanding achievements of its team members. Cable Bahamas Group of Companies pulled out all the stops for its employees at its annual Epic Awards, an evening dedicated to honoring the individuals behind the leading technology, innovation, and customer service the brand is known for. Chief Executive Officer Franklin Butler Jr. says while the company is often recognized for innovation, this night is all about the people empowering it.
This is extremely important. I mean, listen, we celebrate everything in our organization. We really try to focus on making sure we drive productivity. We focus on serving our customers. We try to make sure that we keep the Bahamas connected. But that really isn't done through equipment alone. That's really done through people who are monitoring that equipment, who are out there doing installations in your home, who are out there really focused on making sure that we represent who we say we are, which is being the leader enabling connected lifestyles and experience. And so tonight is really about our people.
The awards span various categories, including Employee, Supervisor, and Manager of the Year, all selected through a structured nomination process driven by core company values. Senior Manager of Culture and Training Janelle Hutchison explains how the selection process is grounded in the company's guiding principles.
What we use is a criteria that is based on our core values. We believe that employees should embody integrity. They should perform substance over flash. They should be team players. They should have customer centricity as one of their core values.
And one of those said to have demonstrated those values is Director of Human Resources Keishla Knowles.
It is truly amazing and humbling to be honored. Since from my time here at Cable Bahamas Group, I've joined the organization in February of 2023, and to be recognized by the executive team, by my leaders, by my peers, is truly humbling.
Also present, Chief Live Officer John Gomez, who says the night is a reflection of the company's core belief: people make the difference.
Everything that we do, everything that we make in terms of providing the services for our customers, it cannot happen if not for our staff. So it's important to recognize them and to reward them award them for the things that they do. So this is one way of showing our appreciation for everything that they do.
Among the many honorees is IT Manager Quincy Arthur. He says the recognition is a powerful motivator, especially having only been with the company for 18 months.
You put in the sweat, put in the effort. It's good to be recognized, and you know how people actually see what you're doing, right? So it's a great feeling.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
Congratulations to all of the Epic employees. A major milestone for inclusive entrepreneurship in the Bahamas. 10 entrepreneurs living with disabilities have been awarded grant funding through a new program by the Small Business Development Center. The initiative, the first of its kind, provides specialized training, mentorship, and $100,000 in total funding to help business owners grow their ventures. Speaking at the announcement ceremony, SBDC Executive Director Samantha Roll said the grants reflect the agency's commitment to inclusion.
We have dedicated a great deal of time and resources to develop this program that deeply impacts all entrepreneurs. As we prepared for this program, the SBDC team completed sensitivity training to ensure we serve entrepreneurs with disabilities with greater empathy and understanding. Through this initiative, we were also able to offer training and mentorship that specifically benefited entrepreneurs while also encouraging our community to support business owned by persons with disabilities.
The recipients represent a variety of industries from landscaping to food services, showcasing the diverse talents and ambitions of disabled entrepreneurs. Two of those entrepreneurs, music producer David Seymour and plumber Kirkland Culmer, say the support is related to more than just the money. For them, it's a chance to grow their businesses and uplift others.
Mostly to help disabled artists, musicians, in terms of like making music, singers mostly. I try to, make sure they have like more understanding with music.
My disability don't define me, you know what I mean? In fact, a lot of times I thank God for it. And like I tell anyone with disability, if you believe it, you could achieve it. You could do anything.
The Chinese embassy making a $5,000 donation to the Bahamas Red Cross recently, a much-needed financial boost that will go a long way in assisting those that rely on the organization. That donation taking place during a fundraising event this past Friday. Chinese ambassador to the Bahamas, Yang Zhirong, says it's a continuation of a mutual commitment between both countries to continue friendly relations and to help those in need.
Immediately after the Hurricane Dorian, Chinese government as well as the Chinese society had together they have made cash donation as well as materials assistance of $600,000 US dollars, and I recall that last year, the Ministry of Commerce of China, together with China Society, Red Cross Society, had held an online training courses with Bohemian, for Bohemians, on this risk management and risk prevention and mitigation.
For decades, the Bahamas Red Cross has remained committed to assisting those affected by disaster, health, conflict, or other social problems. President Edison Sumner tells us the funds will go toward assisting those most vulnerable.
We value all of our partnerships, and that you have come and seen the need to come and make this considerable donation to the Red Cross today is something that we value, and we always cherish our partnerships, and we thank you for considering the Bahamas Red Cross as part of your benevolence in supporting individuals in our society. We did speak about 2 or 3 weeks ago when the Chinese, there was a representative here from the
Guizhou province, yes. Guizhou province, yes.
And you made a commitment then, and I'm delighted to see that you're following through on that commitment.
Still to come on Our News Weekend.
We pull up at an exciting beach flag football tournament. We update you on the status of the Olympic swimming pool in Grand Bahama, and a former Olympian starts his own swim club. We got all that coming up next in our Sports Weekend.
They have gotten me into a cave for the second time in 1 year, this time on a different island. Want to know where I am? Tune into Our News tonight.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that runny nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Setamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement, with that arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
I have a vision for Grand Bahama, and my vision is actually bigger than my grandfather's ever was.
Watch City in Focus, the story of Freeport with Italia Hall, starting August 7th only on RTV.
They're blue for me and you, and I say to myself, what a wonderful world. Whoa.
Good evening, happy Sunday. Welcome to our Sports Weekend. I'm Tej Adderley. San Wars offers the best flag football players in the country and throughout the region an opportunity to show their skills on the beach. This year's edition may be the biggest yet.
It's exciting because it's the first time that we are now having about 16 teams participate. We have teams from Freeport, 3 teams from Freeport, 3 Links, the Bodies, Barefoot Bandits. We have 2 teams from Abaco Sharks and Outlaws. We also have 2 teams from Cayman, which is Cobras and Links. And so we're excited that we have teams that came in to participate with 9 local teams.
That's Tito Bethel, founder of the San Wars Beach Flag Football Tournament, giving some insight on participating men's and women's teams from across the Bahamas and even the Cayman Islands. Kyle Reeves of the Abaco Sharks is one of those players. He's played in tournaments all over the region, but he says that this is his favorite.
This is our favorite tournament to come to. We love the energy. We love that we're able to hit people. This is our 4th tournament coming, and we are looking to finish better than we finished last year, which was 2nd.
Future NFL Hall of Famer wideout Julio Jones even showed up to support the event.
Like, I love it. You know what I mean? I want Sand Wars to stay in the Bahamas. I think it'll be great. When I seen it for the first time last night, like live action, it's like rugby meets American flag football. You know, just because of the competition that they in the way they play the game out here now. But I'm loving it. I'm loving being a part of it, coming out.
Now, the final should be wrapping up right now. You can still make it out there if you're looking for a different experience on Sunday night. In the meantime, Sports Minister Mario Bolek says government will not be rushed when it comes to the construction of a new Olympic-sized pool in Grand Bahama. Government inked a deal with the Grand Bahama Port Authority back in March for 80 acres of land worth over $6 million for the site of the new pool. Back in June, Bolek toured the site at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex where geotechnical studies were being done. At the time, he said the pool would be completed within a 24 to 48 month period. He gave this update on Wednesday outside of the House of Assembly.
The last thing I know they was doing the geotechnical study. I haven't followed up on that, of course. Once that is completed and reported that we can go ahead and do construction, there will be a bid sent out for persons to want to make a bid to build the pool. And once we do that, before we find a contractor, we'll start the pool. Again, this is not a rush thing, you know. Everyone wants things done like microwave. We've said we can do something. There's stages being taken, and we can continue to take our time and get it right.
And we're sticking in the pool where there's a new swim club on the block. Beast Aquatics, or rather Bahamas elite athlete swim team, is led by Christina and Alan Murray, both former swimmers themselves. Alan was a national record holder, collegiate record holder, and a decorated All-American scholar athlete. He also participated in the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona, Spain, the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, Georgia, and the 2000 Olympics in Sydney, Australia. And that's the goal for his swimmers, to take them as far as their potential will allow. Our news caught up with Murray during their Tuesday morning practice at the Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center.
It was just the right timing from our coaching staff, my entire family. We've been thinking about this for a while. We knew what we wanted to name it. Beast has been something that has been with us. I would run it as a summer program. I introduced it to the last club. But we know we wanted to brand it as a club when we came out as a coach-owned club. So everyone's really excited. Our parents, our swimmers feel the same way. They're 100% behind us, 200%, some of them leading the charge with organizing everything. So it's moving really nicely.
You can find out more about Beast Aquatics on their Instagram page, beastaquatics_242. Now, the Murrays have a decorated resume in aquatics. Look for beast swimmers to make noise in the local scene real soon. Well, that's a wrap for sports this evening. For Our Sports Weekend, I'm Tage Adderley. I'll see you again next Saturday.
Thanks so much, Tage. On the other side of this break, Ian McKinsey steps into the Weather Center. He's got a look at temperatures across the country. Stick with us.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set them all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set them all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Setamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement, with that arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
I have a vision for Grand Bahama, and my vision is actually bigger than my grandfather's ever was.
Watch City in Focus, the story of Freeport with Italia Hall, starting August 7th only on RTV.
Welcome back and thanks for sticking with us. Well, it's that time on a Sunday evening where we reset for the week ahead. To help you get started weather-wise, here's meteorologist Ian McKenzie. Ian.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your wind down Sunday forecast. Currently outside our studios, we're under mostly clear skies with a temperature of 86. Feels like still muggy at 91, winds from the north-northeast at 7 miles per hour. Temperatures across the northwest Bahamas, we have 86s all through, with the exception of Freeport at 87. Central Bahamas, we have 86s continuing in Camps Bay. We have 85s in Arthurstown, Black Point, and Deadman's Key, Long Island. 84 in Georgetown and Port Nelson, Rum Key, and 83 in Coburn Town, San Salvador. Southeast Bahamas, we have 183 in Duncantown, 84s in Colonel Hill, Delectable Bay, 85 in Abrahams Bay, 86 in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos, and 87, the usual hotspot, Matthew-Town and Nagua. Satellite and radar imagery, things are changing up a bit. We have weak troughing across the area. This could trigger 1 or 2 showers, mainly offshore throughout the course of late tonight and into tomorrow. Tropics right now, tropics still on the quiet side. Long-range models are trying to muster up something in the main development region sometime late week into early next week. Boating forecast in the northwest and central islands at this time, we have winds out the northeast to east at 10 to 15. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. High tide at 10:45 p.m. tonight. Low tide at 5:10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Southeast Bahamas, tad bit stronger. Winds easterly 15 knots. Seas running 3 to 5 feet over the ocean. In your extended forecast, that trough could produce pockets of isolated activity tomorrow across the capital and other portions of the northwest Bahamas. Elsewhere, we expect pretty much stable conditions through most of the week. Highs getting up into the low 90s, folks. Stay hydrated. We expect some cooling off by the end of the week. Those low temperatures still struggling to get out of the 70s into the low 80s. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, productive week, everyone.
Thanks so much, Ian. And now we head on over to the nation's second city, where our Danielle Miller is continuing her adventures with the Grand Bahama Island Promotion Board. Tonight, she shares her experience visiting an area protected by the Bahamas National Trust, which also happens to be famous for biodiversity, complete with an award-winning beach that has been featured in a blockbuster movie. Take a look.
On this episode of our Grand Bohemian Journeys, we take a visit to a place that has one of the largest underwater cave systems, and that is the Lucayan National Park. Established in 1982, Lucayan National Park is the home to pine forest, mangrove creeks, coral reefs, and dozens of cave systems where the preserved remains of Lucayan Indians can be found. Said to be the jewel of Grand Bahama, it is the second most visited national park in the Bahamas. Deputy Warden of Lucayan National Park, Bradley Pinder, explains, in his 4 years of employment at the park, the curiosity of the caves continues to lure in scientists, enthusiasts, and locals alike.
Most persons, when they come here, they're really excited about the cave system, Ben's Cave and Burial Mound Cave. These two caves are among the world's largest charted underground cave and cavern systems. We've charted over 6 miles of underground tunnels and caverns today. Even during COVID, when things were slow, we actually found additional tunnels during that period.
Another unique aspect of the park is the Gold Rock Bridge.
The bridge is named in honor of Mr. David A.C. Knowles. He was one of our original founders.
This historic path hovers over Gold Rock Creek. That is the last intact mangrove tidal creek on the southern shores of Grand Bahama. This dynamic body of water leads you to one of the most breathtaking beaches I've ever laid my eyes on, Gold Rock Beach. This famous beach is featured in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, with sand that radiates golden hues and clear blue waters glistening for miles, leaving you in awe. Locals say it's the welcome mat of Grand Bahama, but I believe Gold Rock Beach is a depiction of heaven on earth. Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Absolutely agree. Thank you so much, Danielle. And we thank you for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a safe and wonderful evening. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.